6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Aerosol! Good morning, friends, and welcome to Shero Coffee Chat, where coffee meets conversation. I'm your host, Melissa Farmer Hill, Army combat veteran and the founder of the Shero Coffee Club, where our mission is to keep the world caffeinated and women veterans celebrated. I just want to thank you for joining us today. And as always, we'll take a spin around the Shero Resource Table. We've got your chat, your tip, and your guest of the week all coming up right after this. And we're back. So we're going to move right on into the Shero Resource Table. And, at Shero Coffee Chat, we know that life is a journey, right? And it's not always easy. It definitely isn't always easy. I'm going through a sinus infection right as we speak. So I understand that it's not always easy. That's why we have to keep our heads on a swivel. You got to keep your head on a swivel when it comes to helping our veterans and their families with over about 16 million. It tinkers. Some stats say 16, some say 18, but with over 16 million veterans out there, none of us have all the answers, but together we can find solutions. And the Shero Resource Table is all about sharing information, programs, resources for our veteran community, because when one of us wins, we all win. And I truly believe that. And today I have a gold mine for you. Some of you already know about it, but have you ever tried to find something on the VA website and felt like I'm just going in circles? If you've done that, then you are in great company, because it happens to be all the time. But I found a tool on the site that can actually help you navigate or find your way through the VA system. And it's called the VA Resource Navigator. And all you have to do is go to go to va.gov, and then where the little the little magnifying glasses for searching, all you have to do is type in the resource navigator bar, and this is the page that comes up. And so the beauty about this is it breaks down everything. So if you're searching for healthcare, if you're searching for housing, if you're searching for mental health, education, disability, it doesn't matter. You can get this all in one spot. All you have to do is just click or use the QR code for what you need. You guys, this is a game changer. I'm telling you, it's called the VA Resource Navigator, and it truly is a game changer. So if you're still trying to figure out where do I start, I want you to start right there. Try this to help you. You can find exactly what you're looking for a whole lot faster when you use that VA Navigator resource system. I tell you, it's truly a game changer. So that is our tip of the week. So I want to move right into our chat of the week. And this is an interesting one, right? And so this week, something caught my eye. It caught the eye of a lot of people, the attention of a lot of people. It was the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. He recently gave a speech to top military leaders at Quantico. Did you see that speech? Now, did you agree with him or not? No matter whether you agree with him or not, you could not ignore that speech. He talked about raising physical standards across the board, cutting out what he called ideological distractions. And bringing in the focus to what he called war fighting readiness, right? So here's where I want to pause and chat with you about it. My question is, uh, how did you feel about that? And if you felt some type of way, was it the message or was it the messenger? Because here's the thing, some of what he said is not new. Military readiness has always been about maintaining discipline. It's about being fit to fight. It's about focus and definitely having a mission first culture, because we used to say, I don't know if they still use that phrase, mission first, soldiers always. So that's a phrase that we had in the Army. But because he said it, and we all know that he is definitely a public figure with a history of polarizing statements. So people either turn out completely, or they embraced it completely, or they got defensive before they may have even listened to what he had to say. So tell me this: if those same words had come from someone else, let's just say a respected general or some type of, a nonpartisan leader, do you think the same message would have landed differently, especially if you did not embrace what he said? Do you think it would have landed differently if someone else had said it? Do you think you would have leaned in and listened instead of shutting down? And this is for people who kind of are opposed to his message. And let's take it one step further, right? In life, how often do you dismiss the truth because you may not like the person who told you that truth, or where it came from? And in leadership, how do we separate the message from the messenger? How do you do that? Sometimes the right words can come from the wrong person, or the person that you feel that it should not come from, or at least the person you like I said, you don't want to hear from. But maybe that's the test of maturity, right? Is that the test of maturity? Can we hear what's true even if it's uncomfortable or unexpected? So here's my question: what matters more? Is it creating the change we want to see, the message, or the messenger? Which, which one is more important? And then when you have a truth that's very powerful, does it get lost because of who said it? I want to know. So that's just a thought I had. So I want to hear from you. Drop your comments, how you feel. Let's brew on that together, because it's what's happening now, and it's important. I really want to know how you feel about that message that the Secretary of Defense, uh, his speech, and how does that fit into your own life? Is it the message or the messenger? And what you feel about truth. All right. I'm gonna go right into our next segment. Thank you for listening to that chat of the week. All right, now we're gonna go to the tip of the week. So how many times, I don't know, this might not be you, but this is me, right? How many times have you gone to the grocery store and you came back with some of the same stuff that you already have in your cabinet, right? You're at the grocery store, it's like, I think I got it. I might need it. Let me get it just in case. Only when you're unpacking your groceries and you find out I already had that, right? There it is. Another bottle of olive oil sitting right next to the one that's already half full, right? Or bags of rice for those who eat rice, or bags of rice that you already had. So this is what I want you to do this week. This is the tip of the week. shop your own inventory first. So before you head out to the grocery store, find out what you have in your cabinet already. It might take 5 minutes to look through your fridge or through your pantry or your freezer. Treat it like a little kitchen audit, right? Do I have the Himalayan salt? Do I have the garlic powder or whatever it is you need? Because this will help you to literally build around the rest of your meals, right? So use your staples, those everyday things that hold you down for the week, whether it's bread or whether it's broccoli. Kind of check once over to see if you have those things, and then that'll help you determine what you actually need to fill in those gaps at the grocery store. So you'll know exactly what you need. And if you have an easier way, right? If you have an easier way of how you go about not getting extra items at the grocery store or the same items, repeated items at the grocery store, tell me your way. I want to know, right? So it's just about trying to make your life easier. So before you go next time to the grocery store, do a quick kitchen audit. Check out what you need. Then write down what you actually need. And then that'll be it. All right. So let's do that kitchen audit before we go to the grocery store this time. You guys, I have so many times I just assume, especially when it comes to like produce. Do I have onions? Do I have cucumbers? And then I'll find out, oh, yeah, it's been in the fridge the entire time. So that's what I want you to do. Do that kitchen audit this week. All right. And now, we head to my favorite part of the show. But before I do that, I'm going to take a sip of some delicious dark roast Shero coffee. And when you drink it black, it just goes down the throat. So smooth. It feels good. All right. So today we have a returning guest, and I am so glad to see that she's back with us. The last time Jessica Gadomski joined us, joined the show, her mic decided to sit it out. Her mic didn't want to participate. So we did a test. So we are ready. But on that show last month, thankfully, Katrina Agnew, who's the COO for Oasis Hospice and Palliative Care at House of Goshen, she carried that conversation and helped us clear up some misconceptions about when you talk about hospice and palliative care. I personally learned, palliative care is when you are still fighting at any stage, and you just want the comfort and the care that you need. And then hospice is when you focus on comfort and not a cure. So she really educated us to know the difference between the two. And we appreciate you for that, Katrina. But today it's all about Jessica, and we're making up for that lost time that we didn't get on the show last month. Jessica Gadomski is a volunteer coordinator at House of Goshen, part of Oasis Hospice and Palliative Care. And sometimes when we think of care, most of us picture, medicines and hospitals and treatments, but at Oasis, healing looks a little different, right? It's found in those quiet moments, gentle conversations that bring peace when words fall short. And Oasis believes that, end of life care isn't about giving up. It's about giving more compassion, more understanding, more presence. And the volunteers are the heartbeat of that mission, and they show up every day with open hearts and a willingness to just simply be there. And that's really important. And leading that effort is someone whose passion for people shines through absolutely, just in a conversation with her. But not only that, but in every act of service that she provides. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Miss Jessica Gadomski. Hi, Jessica. Let's do a mic check test really quick. Hi, Jessica. I don't hear you. Okay, wait a minute. I think you are on mute. Let's try it now. We just tested this. Okay. You are still on mute for some strange reason. Okay, you should.
Okay. Can you
I
hear
can hear
me?
you. Hey, Jessica.
Yay! Hello.
So great to see you again. Like I said, Katrina really educated us, and we absolutely love her for that on what you guys do there. But before we even get into the interview, I want to know what led you down the road to where you are now as the volunteer coordinator. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Thanks. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I'm incredibly grateful for all you do and the impact that you have on the community. Um, we are honored at Oasis to work with you all. I for a very long time, for most of my career, I worked with kids. I worked in international trafficking with international trafficking survivors. So with pregnant and pregnant and parenting teens, and very very vulnerable. Called them tender age, so younger children who had experienced separation internationally and were in the United States waiting for reunification with their families, and we're working on overcoming some of the difficult and traumatic experiences that they had experienced on their journey here. I was the director of a shelter for a very very long time in the south side of Chicago, and after quarantine, um, the trauma, the vicarious trauma, essentially, it kind of all just sunk in. After 20 years, 15 to 20 years of working with kids and families who had experienced that. My own vicarious trauma just sank in, and I decided to step away from the role and focus on my own health and my family, and being able to show up and be present for my family and myself. And so I transitioned out of that work, and stumbled by the grace of God upon Oasis. And I was contacted by our director of psychosocial services, who is now one of my closest and dearest friends. And so I had not worked in hospice before, and I wanted to find something that was incredibly rewarding, but still made an impact on the community. And yeah, I think God led me down this path and introduced me to some of the most incredible humans that I've ever met at Oasis. And like I said, they've become just some of the closest friends. And I'm humbled and honored every single day to just work beside them and see the work that they carry out on a daily basis. So, yeah.
Wow. So just listening to what got you to Oasis, working with trafficking survivors, pregnant teens, director of a shelter. Let me publicly give you your flowers now for a life of service that a lot of us could not or would not be able to deal with. I'm glad God placed you in places where you can bloom, where you could bloom, where you could provide service, where you could be of help. And then when it was time to change, he took you to a place where you're still serving and still being of service to others. Jesse, definitely a lifetime of service. And this is just the beginning, but I just wanted to say thank you
Oh.
give you your flowers right now because it sounds like a book. It sounds like an incredible journey, and I really want to dive into being a volunteer coordinator. So, what does a volunteer coordinator do? And definitely, what makes the volunteer program at the House of Goshen so special?
Thank
You
you so
already
much.
touched on some of that, but I just want to hear your words.
Thank you, and thank you for your recognition. As always, I've learned and grown so much more than I think that I could ever begin to contribute to any organization. The kids, the families, the staff, throughout my career are like a continual source of inspiration. And my role as volunteer coordinator, I have fun. I My job is I get to meet some of the most, just again, amazing souls who have either experienced loss, experienced beauty of hospice, or want to make a difference, and they've taken the strides and taken the steps to be able to make an impact, and they've committed to joining the team. It's not an overnight commitment. It's something that definitely takes a few steps in order to complete, but it is wholeheartedly worth it. Our volunteers go through the same process that our employees do, and they make such a difference for our families, for our patients, for our team members, for each other. Again, I keep reiterating, I've built such incredible and beautiful friendships, and relationships with the people that I am absolutely honored to walk beside on this journey.
Wonderful. And so what in your opinion, what kind of person makes a great uh hospice care volunteer?
Yeah. It's an absolute kaleidoscope of qualities. I'd say our ideal volunteer is somebody who just wants to be part of something, who wants to give back, who wants to build relationships and foster those relationships. It's not necessarily about the certifications that somebody comes to the table with. It's not about the hard skills or soft skills that someone possesses. It's more about wanting to give of themselves and give their time, and truly join the team and be part of something. Because it's not a one day commitment. It's again, our volunteers are regular fixtures in our patients' lives and our daily lives as well.
Wow. So this past week, the Benjamin O. Davis VFW commander, Aretha Spurlock, and myself had a chance to visit. Is this the hospice, the House of Goshen? And it's a beautiful facility, you guys. You have to, I don't know if they give tours on a regular basis, but oh, they do. So you guys have to take a tour of the facility. But what I was really impressed with, I mean, I was impressed with everything, but they have a veterans room a room dedicated to veteran patients. And we had a chance to take a look at it when Jesse gave us the tour. Andre, can we cue up the video? Now, this is me on my phone, you guys, so it's not professional, but it does show you the level of detail they go to make sure a veteran patient knows it or makes a veteran patient feel at home. Can we cue that video up?
We had a veteran recently pass in transition here. We were honored. It was beautiful. We were able to do a full tribute painting ceremony. The entire building stopped after when he was being transferred out. We have a special blanket that we lay over so we're not so there's an honor. And we do the salute, and it was, I mean, the whole building was silent, and it was really beautiful.
Do you ever have
All right, and that was the veteran patient room. I just want you guys. I just want to. I can't thank you guys enough for just being so considerate and thinking about the veteran patient. I know one of the things that Katrina had talked about was there are programs that help the veteran if the need becomes where they are a patient there. There are programs, veteran programs that help them to get into that room if the time comes. So and I'm glad that I know there was discussion about getting honor guard there for different events. So I just love this South suburban clique that's happening right now, and how we can just support each other. So I think that's a wonderful thing, and I just want to thank you for that tour. We have some more footage of the, I don't know what it's called, the walk. There's a path in the back where they can sit and relax. And is that called does that have a certain name, Jesse?
Not yet, but we might have to,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, the memorial garden, but the path, it might be fueled by Shero Coffee someday.
Wonderful. And so for you guys watching, we'll add those videos on the YouTube channel so you can see it. It was just such a great visit. The people, everyone was friendly. I mean, we had a really good time. So thank you for that, Jesse. And now I want to go and talk about volunteers. I want to go back to volunteering again. So can you give me a story of, well, it might not be about volunteers. Can you give me a story about, why this work matters, or it's something that you've experienced to say, wow, this work, it definitely matters.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm so sorry, the dogs just came in.
That's fine.
Um,
It's real life. It's real life
the
in real time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's no escaping it sometimes. um so the our I like I said earlier, the our volunteers are just so magical. And we at Oasis, one of the things that I really value is our commitment to our veterans and our veteran communities. We are part of a program where we are progressing in certification levels. So in order to honor and commemorate our veterans. So we provide lots of education to our staff, to the community, to ensure that we are able to represent our veterans and serve them in a way that is absolutely an honor and representative of the dignity that we want to be able to provide to our veterans. So thank you for that. It's a huge, our work with veterans is a huge pillar of what we do. And in terms of our volunteer stories, we've got some of our volunteers are in high school and want to learn and grow, and they come after school and they sit with our patients and they knit and they giggle and they're just delightful and funny. Other volunteers are retired teachers, journalists. We have a volunteer who just joined the team, who was the director at at a nursing home, and built such close relationships with our staff members that she wanted to join the team as well. And one of my favorite stories of our volunteers, she is a retired nurse, and has, a grandchild, but wanted to remain involved and wanted to be part of a team. And she comes out to the office 2 to 3 times a week, and she contacts all of our patients' families, and all of our patients. And she just calls them and says, "How are you doing?" And she just listens. Sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 15 minutes, sometimes it's 20 minutes. But she just provides that support, not just, that's, I don't, just is a
I
word
get
for
it. Yeah.
minimizes, yes.
Yeah.
Um, and I can't tell you how many times every single week she hears stories of growth and passion, compassion, and um and the ability to be present with one's family. And we joke because she said that, when she was at home, she was getting stressed one day, and her husband calls Oasis her happy place. Which I found so ironic because, so often people associate the word hospice with something that is end of life and negative. And, when our volunteer becomes overwhelmed with life or needs to connect, her husband says, okay, go to your happy place. And so she comes and she spends time with our team, and she's just a beloved person. And the work that she does is incredible as well. So that's just one of a million stories that popped in my mind about
Really.
just the impact.
So now a million things are popping in my mind. We definitely have an ambassador program, and we have ambassadors within the great state of Illinois. And I think this would be great for a something that they can dedicate their time to. So I definitely want to bring this up to our Shero Coffee Club ambassadors to become volunteers for Oasis and be a part of what you guys do. I can't believe Andre just said we ran out of time. Jesse, it has been incredible. It has been incredible. And thank you so much for coming on and talking about the volunteer aspect of Oasis and House of Goshen. And we appreciate having you on. And as always, keep your heart strong and your coffee Shero. Thanks so much, Jess.
Thank you. And it's an honor to work with you guys. And I'm just incredibly impressed and humbled and just inspired by the work that you guys do at the Post, and that you do as Shero as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And have a wonderful Sunday, everybody. Enjoy the sunshine, and have a great day.
All right. See you guys next week.
Okay, bye-bye.